Hey guys, Movie Fan here to start off a brand new Cosplay Tuesday. Now, I'm sure you got a good idea what it is, thanks to that little teaser I sent a few weeks back. It's going to be Black Ranger's helmet. Now, this one's going to be done different because instead of the usual stuff where I try to make it into a whole video, instead I'm going to do it in chapters because, well, this one's a learning curve and, well, I think for newbies like me and so many others, this could be a good experience to show what can go wrong, what you can do about it, what might happen, all that jazz. So I think it'll be fun. And, well, like I said, I'm going to do it in stages, so you're not going to see it done all at once. However, you're going to see the process, and I think you're going to like it. Well, we're going to get started. But before I do, I want to tell you that I bought that as a 3D print from eBay, from a good seller there, and this guy was real awesome, by the way, because he did some very good work, as I'm sure you've noticed in that little clip. If you guys are interested in doing a Black Ranger helmet of your own, I'll put the link below so you can find this guy. Let's get started.
Okay, guys, now that we got all our stuff that we need, we're just going to have to, well, get started. Now, I've noticed that there's some rough edges right in here. I don't know if you could see that from there, but you're going to have to take my word for it at this point, I'm sorry to say. There's a couple right here, pretty much right around the edges there. And of course we got this guy right here, that's going to be a nuisance. There's maybe a few small little defects, but like right here, I think you might be able, yeah, there it is. But it's okay. I mean, I understand. I mean, nothing's going to come out perfect, no matter how hard you try, so it's no big deal. Either way, I would highly recommend, this guy again. In fact, if I come across another one, I'm definitely going to do it because, he did a great job. In fact, he said that there was a huge imperfection and he redid it. Didn't charge me extra, so I appreciate that. But anyway, I'm going to start by using 80 grit sandpaper. If you don't know what to look for, I highly recommend you label it just in case. So I'm just going to grind it down a little, just a little, because, it couldn't hurt. Now, you could use tools for this, but, I think since this is my first time, I'd rather do this by hand. I mean, it's not hard, and, I got plenty of time on my hands. Plus, I got a putty tat over there, and I don't want him around when I'm using power tools, so I'm just going to use circular motions. I'm going to be firm but gentle at the same time. I don't know exactly if I'm making, hey, that's doing real good. Yeah, seriously. That's really smoothed it out. This is a little, I can actually tell the difference. This is a little smoother by comparison. And this is the reason why I'm not using power tools, because they always get in the way. And in this case, it'll be a lot safer. So, all right, let's do a little circular motion. Okay. Again, this is the first time I've ever Again, this is the first time I've ever done anything like this, so there could be some problems along the way. And let's just say we'll learn from our mistakes as we go along. There's nothing wrong with that. Do a little bit of that. That feels pretty darn good, actually. Dust that off a little. Now, I don't know if you're supposed to, try to hose that off before you do something. I would imagine you might have to do something like that. But, let's see, for that little defect, I'm going to try and use a corner on that because I don't want to, put too much effort into that. So I'm just going to use my thumb here. A little bit of this. Hey, that did all right. Really did. I'll go a little circular, try to even it out. I'm trying not to use the whole thing, but this might be a little tricky. Let's try and use my finger here. There we go. Oh, much better, much better. Yeah, I like that. All right, let's see. I think there was an edge here someplace. No, there wasn't. That's real nice. A bit of a slight edge in there, so I'm just gonna hit that. Since this is the inside, I'm not going to worry about it. Oh, I'm going to try and see if I can do something about this little thing here. Obviously, that was done from when he did the print, the stand and all that business. But, yeah, we'll see. let's move on to the next one here. And like I said, there's a little imperfection on the edge here, little rough spots, so I'll just get on that. Ooh, oh, wow, that really did a good job. I'm going to get on the inside too. Boy, that's doing a lot better than I thought it would. I mean, don't get me wrong, I thought it would do great, but I didn't think it would go this good. See what happens when you do your homework, guys? Let that be a lesson to everybody. Just do your homework. See, there's a little bit here, so, okay, I want to try and get that. Okay, a little bit of that. Okay, lot smoother, lot smoother. And I'm going to switch hands here. If you're ambidextrous, this really pays off. I think I'm mostly right-handed, but I guess I'm a little ambidextrous. I've always been able to do things with both hands, but I am more right-handed, though. All right, let's see. Ooh, very nice, very nice. Let's see, okay. Got a little rough edge on that side, like I said, so let's do a little straight hand. A key thing when you're doing this, you want to keep moving. You don't want to stay static or else it could do something. At least that's what I've been told. And I don't doubt that for a minute, so you definitely don't want to stay put. You want to just keep moving. You know, for those thinner edges, I better cut a piece off here. I'm just going to grab my scissors. Yes, yeah, this one will do. So, snip, snip, snip. Okay, yeah, let's get a little bit there. I don't want to go overboard. You know, there's no reason to do that if you don't have to. Much better, much better. A little bit of this. Okay, check the tusk. Tusk is already good. Very nice. Okay, get the bottom there. Definitely got to get that, so. That was a little dust, don't worry. This is bound to happen. You know, when you do stuff like this, there's going to be a little dust involved. It's just a given. Let me see here. I know there's some ridges in there. That might be a little tricky to cover. Let's see. Oh, this edge here, definitely got to get that. Key thing with all this is attention to detail. As the old saying goes, the devil's in the details, and that's a fact, folks. And I want this to be perfect for me, so, I mean, maybe it won't come out that way. I'm trying to be realistic here, but deep down, I want it to. Because, you know, I've always wanted to have a Black Ranger helmet. Correction, all the Power Rangers, let's get real. But, yeah, I'll stick with some of my favorites. I already got Blue Ranger, but I bought that one, and that's already done, so there's no reason to try to make one. Black Ranger, unfortunately, he's getting real hard. Nah, who am I kidding? I've never seen one available, so that's why I'm sticking with this. And, you know, I don't want to mess this up. Okay. Check that. Okay. Needs a little work, but it's okay. Just, if I go off camera here, sorry about that. It just can't be helped sometimes. You know, you try to work and you end up getting so involved in what you're doing. Excuse me a minute. Had to give that a blow there. Yeah, much better. Much better already. Let's see. Okay, this part's good. Top edge needs a little work. Didn't catch that earlier. So. This is an inner part, so I'm not going to worry about, you know, I'm not working right, or, well, too bad anyway. Very good, very good. There's a slight imperfection up here. I don't think you could see it. Ah, there it is. And I'll just do a little circular motion on that. Much better. Okay. Now, since we got this big guy here, needs a little more there. I'll go backwards too, just in case. Clockwise and counter. That way you can be sure you get some of that out of there. Yeah. Boy, the way this is going, I'm making some real good progress. Here, I'm going to pause the camera. Okay, we're back. Now, I figured out a plan to try to get in these ridges, very carefully, of course. And there's a spot here I want to get on. I'm probably going to do that by hand with, one of these. But for this ridge, considering how, how this goes, I'm going to use a sanding sponge. This is 80 grit, just like my sandpaper here. And this stuff is going to be, well, you see it's got an angle there so you can get in edges, so that's going to be useful. So I'm going to carefully work at that. Just a little back and forth there. Now, again, I've never tried this before, so I don't know how this is going to go. I hope it works without too much trouble. I mean, I just want to knock off those rough edges. That's all I want to do. Try and get in the sides, too. Very important. Like I said, folks, attention to detail. Try and get down there. Okay, up there. Again, if I'm crowding the camera or something, I'm sorry about that. But again, you try to do something and it's not easy sometimes. Okay. Oop, there we go. That's okay, I didn't do anything, it just kind of popped out. Just getting that ridge a little more. Maybe I'll have to do this by that. Okay. Like I said, it's going to be a little tricky, but I'm kind of hesitant to try to dig in, you know what I mean? So I'm trying not to, but maybe that's the way to go, just dig in a little more. Here, I'll try and get that edge right here. Like I said, this is a learning curve for me, so if I'm doing it wrong for all you professionals out there, I do apologize. But for all you newbies out there, well, we can all learn from my mistakes anyway. Assuming I make any, and I'm betting on it. I'm probably gonna. Okay, chop edge is feeling a lot better now. So let's try that again with the sanding sponge. I'm gonna dig in a little more. I'm gonna try anyway. So, like I said, this isn't easy because I'm trying to be careful, but at the same time, I'm trying not to blow it. You know what I mean? You know how it is. You gotta try and do it right, and it's always a learning curve, no matter what you try. And I've never used a sanding sponge before, so I don't know how this works exactly. I mean, I know what it is and all that, like anybody else, but I've just never tried before. I mean, I worked with power tools and that, but what can I tell you? So, hang on a minute. Feels like I made some progress, but not too sure I'm satisfied with that. Here, I'm going to double over on this. Maybe that'll get in there. So, oh, that's much better. Okay. Again, I'm not trying to sand the whole thing down, just those rough edges. Maybe the sanding sponge didn't work for me this time, but, there's always use for something like that. I mean, you never know. Maybe I could use it for something later. So, I wouldn't call that a waste of money. I really wouldn't. You never know. I mean, I don't know what it is. When you think it in, when you have it in, I don't know what it is. I mean, I may need it. Yeah, who knows? Maybe we could use it for this. Help it along. But again, maybe I'm just being too careful too. But can you blame me? I mean, I'm trying to do this right. I don't want to mess this up. Outside edges. Okay, let's see if I can get that. I'm going to try gently. Well, that feels much better. Yeah, I think I got it. Okay. Yeah, there's a good chance I probably don't have everything, but, you know, I'm not trying to... Let's try and get this guy here. Oh, wait a minute, let's use the sponge, yeah. I might do it. Okay, let's do a little, break it back and forth. And this bottom edge here, I think it's doing real good on this spot. And it's a little too curvy, so I'm going to try to do that with this. Okay, all right. Feels pretty good, actually. I think I can work with that. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, here's the spot. I got to get that. Much better. I'll do a little bit here. It's too close to the face. I'm kind of worried about that. Hang on. Now that spot's a little close to the face. I don't want to mess that up. So let's try and go a little slow here, a little easy. If you can't see exactly what I'm doing, I'm sorry about that. Try not to knock that part off, you know, or scratch it up. Feels a little better. I'm going to flip this a little smaller. There we go. Okay. That's a good thing about sandpaper. You can do stuff like that, you know. Let's see if I can roll it over a little. All right. It fits back to the camera. I'm sorry. Okay. It's looking okay. Yeah. This under spot I think is good. I mean, it's nothing real major. Yeah, I think we're doing good here. So, all right. You know, just for the heck of it, let's see what happens when we use the sandpaper on this spot. I mean, it's inside, so it's not going to hurt anything. It's not really. Besides, I definitely want to knock this stringy stuff out of here. Well, it certainly knocked off a good lot of it, so that's a plus. Definitely want to do that. So, on the inside, it's not going to matter too much. I just want to get that excess off of there. Excuse me, man. Well, it's a heck of a lot better than it was earlier. Not so much of that loose stuff. Very nice, too. I'm going to try the sponge. Okay, not going to try that again. Left some pieces of sponge in there, so turn that around a little. There we go, that should do it. Well, most likely I'll put some padding in there anyway, so it's not going to matter. So, I think we're doing okay. So that's the first step, just getting rid of some of those rough edges. So, what do we got here? Oh, that's nothing. Never mind. Oh, there's a little nib right in here. Let's see if I can get rid of that. Hang on a minute. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's step one right there. Sanding down all this. Now, you won't be able to tell from here, I don't think, but it feels a lot smoother than it did beforehand. Because beforehand it was a little rough, and you'd expect that. Now, what I don't know is if you need to put water on it to try to get some of this off. I mean, I might try to do a little bit of that to get some of that dust out of there, because I definitely don't want to, have dust stay around, because that could be a problem. So I'm just going to try that on this piece. Okay, I did put a little water on this. It didn't do anything, so but that's okay. It's going to be painted anyway, so I just want to make sure, see what would happen. Like I said, this is a learning curve, so I'm not going to worry about it. And I got the best I could on this. There might be still a bit of a rough edge, but I don't think it's going to be that noticeable. Plus, let's get real, it's a tough corner to cover. So I think we're good here. So that's step one. Sand with 80 grit sandpaper on those rough edges. So next up we'll be spraying it with primer paint, and then we'll be putting some Bondo into these tough spots right here. So we'll stay tuned for next time, and we'll do that.